Hey guys, Poison here, and today after I reached second time 100, level 100 in this league, Legacy Softcore, with my Vaal Fireball Inquisitor Magic Finder, I decided to make a guide, rant, YouTube thingy, call it as you want it. It's just so I can get famous and rich, you know, that's why I make these videos on YouTube. Anyways, I just wanted to make this to help you out, guys, with the questions and everything you had related to this build. I'm gonna start up with the leveling the character because this is a generic question all the time. So I started with freezing poles, with spark. Spark helps you to kill Brutus easily. You can look it up on the internet how you do it. Anyways, with freezing poles, with spark until like level 12. At level 12 you take Firestorm. If you can, you level up a spell totem support with it. Then you go with Firestorm until like level 28. After the Gravicious quest, you get yourself Flameblast. You get it from the quest. You set up a Flameblast totems. And with that you can go until you can switch to Vaal Fireball when you get the gear or whatever. This is how I level up. This is how I level up my Inquisitors. It's a very nice way to level it up. Even more, you can get the first labyrinth after you kill Malachi the first time. And you take this ascendancy points, instruments of virtue. This will help you with attack and cast speed. You get yourself a shield, high attack speed dagger or weapon with high cast speed, and you just totem, shield charge, totem, shield charge, totem, shield charge through the whole game. And then this is it. So this is pretty much the leveling. I will write it down in the description so you can look it up. Okay, so that's the first thing. I will go through the skill tree. So as you could see, Instruments of Virtue, Righteous Providence, Inevitable Judgment, and Augury of Penitence. Fuck me, my English is bad. Anyways, you go with Instruments of Virtue first, then you take Inevitable Judgment, then you take this. That's pretty much the ascendancies. Then we just have a generic Vaal Fireball, Spark-ish kind of skill tree. Notable things that you want to take is the area nodes, the crit nodes, obviously the flask effectiveness, then ES, Snowforged, Throat Seeker, the jewel sockets, obviously CI, Doomcast, Ghost Reaver, then power charges, sockets again, sniper, another jewel socket here. You travel here because you want Vaal Pact for the most part. I have a relic Vessel of Victor, so I don't need it. I get the Vaal Pact from the flask. But if you don't have, you have a normal Victor, it's fine. You just take Vaal Pact and you move on. It's more than enough. This is just for extra fanciness, and because I could afford it, I took it. This is how the tree looks like. You take Arcane Potency for the extra crit chance and crit multi. Jewel wise, you need 2 perfect sack harvests. Well, if you can't afford perfect ones, whatever, 25 plus should do the trick. So I have 2 sack harvests. I have a legacy Chill of Corruption. If you can't afford it, again, a normal Chill of Corruption does the trick. It's fine. Then I went, then of course 2 Rolling Flames. They changed the Rolling Flames, so you don't need to have the 40 intelligence allocated in the radius. You just have to have it in the radius. So I have intelligence here. So I have 50. Same goes here on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's more than enough. I wanted to point this out because I got this question so many times. Hey Poison, your top rolling flames has no 40 int. Yes, it has, because it doesn't. You don't have to allocate it anymore. Then I have Vaal sentencings, 2 of them, and a 4-modded attack and crit multi and cast speed jewel. These are the perfect jewels for this build. And I will tell you in a second why I chose Vaal sentencing when I get to my 6th link. Okay, so that's the skill tree. Then I'm gonna go through the gear. I need to take this for the explanations and this. Okay, so the best weapon for this is obviously not the Mjolnir, it's just for debating the stream. It's a bright beak for the attack speed. As you all know, shield charge scales off your attack speed and the movement speed. So it's for mobility. And obviously it's really nice to have the resistances. It helps you to cap out your resistances. Then you have a thrilling setup into it. It's the defensive setup, Warlord's Mark, cast damage taken, and Immortal Call. Helmet, you want a increased effect of the buff granted by your Lightning Golems enchantment, and you want a Horror craft. So this helmet is crafted with Horror Essence. Socketed gems deal 30% more elemental damage. If you can get like 200 plus with some resistances, 200 plus ES with some resistances, I happen to have really nice resistances on it. It's more than fine because it's very hard to get the better one. For reference, I crafted around 50 plus, which is 150 C times 5. You do the math, and I still don't have a better one than this. I only got garbage like, where is it? See, garbo like this. Oh, this is actually decent-ish. If I wouldn't have this one, probably I would keep this one because it's 300. It's already good. Just need some res on it, and it's good to go. But probably this is the highest res I got out of 50, so that's just for reference for you guys. Then you want to have the single target here, which is Fireball, Spell Echo, Concentrated Effect, and Increased crit damage support. This is the best or the highest single target damage that you can get. You put it into the Horror Craft, and bosses will melt very fast. Of course, I'm doing only up to tier 13. This is a mapper, not a boss killer. I should have started the build guide with this, but whatevers. So, as I said, it's a mapper. It's not necessarily a Minotaur, Hydra, Shaper, Uber-Theory, blah 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 killer. For that, there are other builds with poison and crap. So, shield. On the shield, it's very important, the crit strike chance to cap yourself out. On crit strike, as we know, this note here, critical strikes ignores enemy monster elemental resistances, which is OP. This is why everybody chose Inquisitor on elemental builds. So you want to crit all the time, you want to cap yourself on crit. So that's the most important thing. Then high yes, some resistances, and the spell damage is just icing on the cake. If you look for shields like this, it's gonna be very expensive, but if you cut the spell damage, you will get some decent shields for a decent price. But if you can afford, spell damage is very nice because it adds a lot of damage and you just clear the maps very smoothly. Then you have a thrilling setup here, Herald of Thunder, Discipline, and Mana Leech. Mana Leech applies to Herald of Thunder, it's very nice. Now that I have a Legacy Victors, I don't really need this, so I could use Enlighten level 3 or 4, it's whatever's. But if you don't have a Legacy Victors, it's really nice to have a Mana Leech setup. This is a Magic Finder setup, so that's why we have Biscos. I have Biscos with +1 additional curse to be able to generate power charges and frenzy charges. I know it's very expensive, so this is why I came up with an idea or solution for a cheaper version. So we need double curse for this setup here. which is Assassin's Mark, Herald of Ice, Poacher's Mark, and Curse on Hit support. You get your power charges from the Assassin Mark. You get your frenzy charges from Poachers with some extra flash charges. But if you don't have the money for the additional curse on the Biscos, you can just change Poacher's Mark with Ice Bite support. It will generate you the frenzy charges. You will not get the extra flash charges, but this is the price you pay, so you don't have to buy a 10x plus amulet. You will pay like 10c instead of 10x. I think it's reasonable, right? All right. So we have 2 Opal rings. This is your end game rings with extra elemental damage for the extra smoothness on clear and damage. If you can't afford it, you can get, I don't know, any other ring with that caps your resistances and a lot of energy shield, as much as you can get. And generally you're looking for rings with open prefixes, so you can craft yourself %TS if you want to keep the ring for an extended period of time. On this one I have attack speed for the extra Autismo clear speed. It's really nice to have it. I would prefer it here as well, but that I couldn't find throughout the whole league another ring like this. I'm still waiting on my Whoopers. Obviously Vaal Regalia. Mine is a little bit retarded because I was very lucky to craft it myself. I would suggest the Regalia over 750, maybe over 800. 6 link, obviously. Couple resistances are very good. If you can have int on it, it's even better. 6 link setup is faster proj, fork, control destruction, spell echo, item quantity. Again, it's a magic finder character. It's very fast, but it's magic find as well. So the two things combined. And the Vaal Fireball setup. You would ask why you have increased crit support in your inventory. So I told you guys I'm gonna come back to the Vaal sentencings. The reason I took Vaal sentencings is because I took out increased crit for to be able to have faster proj and fork as well. Faster proj is necessary because you shield charge through the map very fast, and the projectiles can't keep up with your speed. So that's necessary. And fork is very nice for the clears. So it's good to have it. And this way I had to take off the increased crit to be able to have item quantity as well. So I kept my crit with Vaal sentencings. To be fair, I think you need 3 Vaal sentencings. So you can take this off and just put in another Vaal sentencing and you are good to go. So these are out of the way. 6 link, okay. As the gloves, again I have retarded gloves because I play a lot and I have a lot of currency, but don't bother to look for 271s. You can get 200-ish insanity gloves with some res in the range of 1-2 exalted orbs. I think that's a fair price. Again, insanity gloves for the extra Autismo clear speed. Here we have faster attacks, fortify, and shield charge, and I needed to put my lightning golem somewhere, so this was the only spot I could put in. So that's my gloves. I talked about the falling setup on the boots for power charge and frenzy charge generation. We have a Assassin's Mark, Poacher's Mark, Curse on Hit, and Herald of Ice setup. I'm using Death's Door boots. Some of you might ask, why are you using Death's Door boots? The thing is that you don't have spot on your flask where you can put your bleed removal. You won't sacrifice your Alchemist Quicksilver Flask of Adrenaline. If you can't afford Death's Doors, then you can obviously put bleed removal and bleed immunity on your Quicksilver. At the very beginning I had that too, until I could afford my Death's Doors. But once you can afford the Death's Doors, this is gonna be so good because you're gonna be much faster. Alright, flash setup. We have Dying Sun for the extra projectiles and extra. It's good because you get some extra fire res. It helps a lot on reflex as well. And yeah, the 3 projectiles are very, very nice. Kiara's, I always say this flask is very, very, very overpowered. A lot of streamers or YouTubers or whatever never talk about it. Everybody's butchering Vinctors because Vinctors is so OP. It is OP, but we have to mention that Kiara's is sick as well because we have freeze immunity, chill immunity, curse immunity, and stun immunity in one fucking flask. And if you can train through maps, you have it up all the time. And we need this one obviously for the freeze removal and for the stun immunity. Then we have Vessel of Vinctor. You don't need a legacy one. It's very, very nice to have. It gives you an extra point on the skill tree because you can take off Vaal Pact, but it's very expensive. It's like 100x. I paid like 80x for mine. The one thing that you have to keep in mind that you need Vinctors with added lightning to spells. That's it. This is for Life Leech and Mana Leech. Okay, then we have a Diamond Flask for crit and to remove shock that you get from the Vinctors. And Alchemist Quicksilver of Adrenaline obviously for the mobility. Now you can notice the Headhunter here. I didn't talk about it yet. I left it to the end. Thing is that you don't necessarily need the Headhunter. You can go with Bisco Slash Leash if you happen to have enough resistances to run it. It's a very, very nice belt. You get Rampage, a little bit of resistances, and 5 quantity, which I think is really nice. Or if you feel like you need more ES and resistances, you can get the Crystal Belt. Keep that in mind when you purchase a belt, to look for a belt with resistances, high energy shield, and if it's possible, an open prefix. Increased movement speed is an open prefix, again, for the extra autismo-ness, you know, because we are keeping it autismo. This is pretty much it. I'm gonna take a map now and I'm gonna go through it just to show you guys the build in action. I managed to get to 100 with it 2 times. I can tell you that item quantity is busted as fuck. I'm not joking about it. A lot of people think about it like, oh, I'm gonna get so many exalted orbs and I'm gonna get headhunters and everything left and right. No, it's not about that. It's about getting a lot of mixed currency, 6 sockets. I can notice that it's like 3 or 4 times more 6 sockets, fuses, and if you farm like 10 hours a day, it adds up a lot. And I mean a lot. You get the exalted orbs here and there. Look, this is like a 1-day farm session, not even 1 day, couple hours. And you get hundreds of fuses and jewelers. And yesterday I changed up all my regret orbs and all my scourings, and I have almost like over a 50, over 70, almost 100 here. Same goes for Regas. So that's what magic finding is about. Okay, I'm gonna take out the map. Where are my maps? They are. Talking about maps a little bit as ending. You can't do hexproof, obviously, because then you can't generate your power charges and frenzy charges. What you can do is elemental reflect, because you dumpster yourself, you die instantly. No leech is a pain in the ass. And well, if you play hardcore, I would not do minus max. These are pretty much the worst things that you cannot do. Then the ones that you slow you down, temporal chains. It's more like a preference thing. You can do it, so it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna do a map just to show you the build in action. Have fun, guys, and see you guys on Twitch. I stream every day. I will leave you links in the description. If you have any questions, you can come by my stream, ask me live, or ask in the description. I usually read everything once or twice per day on my YouTube, and I try to answer all the questions. So have fun, guys, and see you guys with the next guide, rant, YouTube thingy, whatever.